Hi, everyone. This is Bryan from Keller Williams, and today I would like to talk about the final walkthrough. So, the transaction's going really, really well. We're getting really close to closing, and every buyer has the right to have a final walkthrough before the closing. Typically, it's like the day before, or perhaps the day of the closing. So, for example, for closing at noon, the buyer could perform their final walkthrough, say at 11 o'clock, right on their way to the closing. That's typically what happens. But you can do it the day before. Sometimes you can do it 2 days before. So, what's the purpose of the final walkthrough? Um, Very basically, you just want to make sure the walls are still standing. Okay, aren't it being a little funny? But what we're doing is we're walking through the house. Now, it's before the closing, so the people may not be out yet. Okay, but what we're just looking at is just the general condition of the house. Does it reflect the general condition when we wrote the offer, when the buyers wrote the offer to purchase the home, right? So, what are we looking for? Um, has there been any extensive damage due to moving? Were they coming up the staircase from the basement with the sectional for the home theater, and they put a sofa leg through the drywall, right? Um, Anything like if they damaged a countertop, dragging something heavy over it because they had a heavy box over it, right? Things like that. Other things we're looking for too. Has any of the fixtures been removed that should have stayed? So a really good example of that is, let's say there was a really cool chandelier hanging over the dining room table, and we show up for the final walkthrough, and guess what? The chandelier is gone and it's replaced with a cheaper light. That's a problem, right? Because fixtures, which are permanently attached to the structure of the house, need to stay unless otherwise negotiated or otherwise excluded from the sale. Okay. That's in a different video that I recorded. But the final walkthrough is basically verifying general condition and make sure that everything is in order just before or on our way to the closing. Every buyer has the right to have the final walkthrough. Okay, sellers? So, anyway, that's the real basic definition. Of course, every situation is unique, every home is unique. There are nuances to this, right? But that is the basic definition of the final walkthrough. Thank you.